Again, this book by Daniel Kahneman is called Thinking Fast and Slow. A great read. There's just so much nuggets in this book. I think I just want to share something. I think on page 202, he talked about the social cost of hindsight, and he's talking about hindsight bias. Previously, I talked in a shared in a book by Adam Grant that as humans, the best forecasters are basically people that are able to revise or update their beliefs. And in this book, it almost would sound like a contradiction, but I think there's a key difference. We talked about how hindsight bias, the social cost of hindsight, and he says, I just read just an expert that says hindsight bias has a pernicious effect on the evaluation of decision makers. And I just talked about generally that it leads people to think that the quality of a decision is based on the outcome. I know it's one of those things where it happens in football. Like you see two good teams play, like example, Man City playing Man United, or just football generally. And the belief we had before the game was, example, Man City is the best team in the world, and then after the game, Man United now maybe wins the game, and our belief of Man City being the great team changes, and then all of a sudden we now revise that belief to say, oh, Man City are good, but they weren't that great because they had a bad goalkeeper. That's why they lost this game. So we're trying to justify the outcome of the game, and we're now trying to revise the belief we have about Man City, and that Man City are not as good because they've lost the game. And I think what he's saying here is that we tend to place a lot of weight or a lot of emphasis on the outcome, and then now make us reconstruct our belief. And by reconstructing our belief, what it now does is it almost changes the previous beliefs we have, and we find it really hard to go back to the previous belief of Man City being a great club. And I think what happens as when it comes to decision makers, or when it comes to understanding people, is that whilst it's good to to revise our beliefs based on an outcome or based on hindsight, it's also good to look at the process in terms of the thought process or the decision making process. Example, Man City lost the game, and trying to understand why they lost the game, trying to break it down, and not just putting all the weight on the outcome, but looking at the journey and saying maybe it was just a fluke, maybe it was just a one-off event. They had a bad time, they had a bad game, or we're just down to, I don't know, the fans. Just trying to rationalize and understand, rationalize the outcome a bit better than just blindly focusing on the outcome or the hindsight before we revise our belief. I know it's a bit loaded, but just making us understand that when we shouldn't just place entire weight on the outcome, but understanding in terms of the process, was it a structured decision-making process? If it was the case, that's fine. Even if the outcome is contrary to our earlier belief, we should place some form of weight also to the process as well. So this is a very great book. It talks about system one, system two, how we make, system one is all about making quick decisions. Example, driving in an empty road is a system one thing, but trying to park your car in a very tight, car park is a system two thing, where we are more conscious, we're more structured, we're more deliberate, we take our time a bit more. But hindsight bias is a key thing. I'd like to hear your thoughts about hindsight bias. Are you someone that just update your beliefs and just it could be quickly and rashly just based on the outcome, or do you look at the outcome but also try to understand the process and the flow of things before systematically updating your belief? Amazing book by Daniel Kahneman about system one, system two, about thinking fast and slow, helping us understand our decisions better. And so these are one of the key readings I think will help you as a marketer to think deeply and think critically, cognitively, and creatively. So an amazing book by Daniel Kahneman. I'll recommend this read anytime, any day. Thank you so much.